You've been carrying every single day. You've put in the range time. You know your gun. But let me ask you something serious. If a threat walked through that door right now in the next 5 seconds, are you actually ready? Or are you carrying the wrong gun, the wrong way, for the wrong reasons? Because 9 out of 10 concealed carriers are. And most of them find out the hard way. Today, I'm going to show you the 10 most dangerous mistakes CCW carriers make and the 10 specific pistols built to fix every single one of them. This video is for educational purposes only and does not promote harm or unsafe use of firearms. Number 10. IWI Masada Slim. This isn't some oversized duty pistol pretending to be concealable. This thing was engineered from the ground up for real-world carry, tight spaces, long days, unpredictable situations. And that difference? You feel it immediately. The Masada Slim carries the DNA of Israel Weapon Industries, a company built around military efficiency, not marketing hype. That means every detail has a purpose. The frame is aggressively slim, but not fragile. The grip texture bites just enough to stay locked in your hand without tearing you up during all-day carry. It's controlled, deliberate. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They chase capacity or size extremes. Too big? You stop carrying. Too small? You stop shooting well. The Masada Slim lives right in that balance point. The trigger has a clean break with a short reset. Nothing flashy, but incredibly predictable. And predictability under stress? That's everything. Because when adrenaline hits, you're not thinking, you're reacting. This pistol is optics ready out of the box, pushing you toward modern defensive shooting instead of outdated habits. And that's the bigger message here. Most concealed carriers are stuck in the past. They carry what looks cool, what's popular, what someone else recommended. But the Masada Slim? It forces you to think differently. Carry smarter, move better, stay consistent. Price sits in that mid-range category, but what you're really buying is efficiency. No wasted space, no wasted motion, no wasted decisions. And that's the point most people miss. Concealed carry isn't about having a gun. It's about having the right gun all the time. Number 9. Glock 19, Gen 5. Most concealed carriers think they need something smaller to stay hidden. And that's exactly where they start making mistakes. They sacrifice shootability for comfort, control for convenience, and when it matters, they pay for it. That's why the Glock 19 Gen 5 continues to dominate a space where trends come and go. Built by Glock, this pistol wasn't designed to win beauty contests. It was built to work, no matter what. And that's the difference most people don't understand. The Gen 5 version refined everything that already made it legendary. No finger grooves for universal grip, improved barrel accuracy, smoother trigger response, and unmatched internal durability. It's not the smallest gun you can carry, but it might be the smartest. Because when adrenaline hits, that slightly larger frame gives you control, stability, and confidence most micro compacts simply can't match. Recoil stays manageable, follow-up shots stay tight, and your margin for error shrinks in the best possible way. This is where 9 out of 10 carriers get it wrong. They prioritize hiding the gun over being able to fight with it. The Glock 19 Gen 5 forces a different mindset. Carry something you can actually run under pressure. Price sits in the mid to premium range, but what you're really investing in is a track record that's been proven worldwide, from civilians to professionals who trust their lives to it daily. This isn't about hype. It's about consistency, reliability, and performance when everything is on the line. Number 8. Canik TP9 Elite SC. Here's a mistake almost every concealed carrier makes. At some point, they underestimate the trigger. They focus on size, brand, or capacity, but ignore the one thing that directly affects every shot they take. And that's exactly why the Canik TP9 Elite SC changes the conversation. Built by Canik, this pistol came into the market without legacy hype, but earned attention the hard way: performance. The moment you press that trigger, you understand. It's crisp, light, and breaks, with a precision that most guns in this category don't even come close to. And that matters more than people realize. Under stress, your fine motor skills collapse, your hands shake, your timing gets messy, so a clean, predictable trigger becomes your advantage. Now, here's where people get it wrong. They assume a subcompact means compromise, less control, more recoil, harder follow-ups. But the TP9 Elite SC doesn't play by those rules. It's thicker than some micro compacts, yes, but that added width gives you something critical: grip stability. The slide cycles smoothly, recoil feels controlled, and your shots stay on target faster than expected. It's optics ready, comes with a solid feature set out of the box, and delivers a level of shootability that punches way above its price range. And speaking of price, it sits comfortably in the budget to mid-tier, which makes it even more dangerous to ignore. Because now you're getting high-end performance without the high-end cost. This is where most carriers fail. They buy based on reputation instead of experience. But the TP9 Elite SC rewards those who actually train, who actually shoot, who actually care about performance when it matters. Number 7. Taurus GX4. Most concealed carriers fall into one of two traps. They either go too big and stop carrying altogether, or they go too small and lose control when it matters most. And right in that gap sits the Taurus GX4, quietly correcting both mistakes without asking for attention. Built by Taurus, this pistol doesn't carry the prestige of legacy brands, but that's exactly why people underestimate it. And that's a mistake. The GX4 was designed for one purpose: everyday concealed carry that actually works in real life. It's compact, yes, but not to the point of being uncontrollable. The grip gives you just enough purchase to stay locked in, even when things get fast. The trigger is clean, consistent, and far better than what most expect at this price point. And that's where the real value shows up. Because here's the truth: most people don't train enough. So when they finally need their firearm, they rely on instinct. And instinct needs simplicity. The GX4 delivers that. No unnecessary complexity, no over-engineering, just a straightforward, reliable tool that does its job when you do yours. Capacity is solid for its size, recoil is manageable, and the overall balance makes it easier to shoot than many competitors in the same category. Price sits firmly in the budget range, making it accessible, but don't confuse affordable with weak. This is where 9 out of 10 carriers get it wrong. They assume cheaper means compromise. But sometimes, it just means efficiency. The GX4 proves that you don't need to spend a fortune to carry something that can actually defend your life. You just need to choose wisely. Number 6. Ruger Max 9. Here's where most concealed carriers quietly sabotage themselves. They ignore adaptability. They pick a gun that works one way, in one condition, and hope that's enough when everything goes sideways. That's exactly the gap the Ruger Max 9 was built to close. Developed by Ruger, this pistol doesn't scream for attention, but it delivers something far more important: flexibility in the moments that actually matter. Right out of the box, it's optics ready, and that single feature already puts it ahead of most carriers who are still stuck relying only on iron sights under stress. Because here's the reality: your vision narrows, your focus shifts, and finding sights becomes harder than you think. The Max 9 gives you options, and options buy you time. Its slim profile makes it easy to conceal. But unlike many ultra-thin pistols, it doesn't feel like it's slipping away from you when you shoot. The grip texture holds firm, the recoil impulse stays manageable, and the trigger, while not the lightest, remains consistent and predictable. And predictability is what keeps shots on target when pressure spikes. This is where most people get it wrong. They choose comfort over capability. They want something easy to carry, but forget it also needs to be effective to use. The Max 9 balances both without forcing a trade-off. Price-wise, it sits in that affordable range, but it offers features you'd normally expect to pay more for. And that's the bigger lesson here. Concealed carry isn't about choosing the simplest option, it's about choosing the one that adapts when your situation doesn't. Number 5. Shadow Systems MR920. Most concealed carriers don't realize this, but sometimes the problem isn't the size of the gun, it's the quality of the system they're trusting. They settle for good enough, thinking all pistols in the same category perform the same. That assumption? It's dangerous. Because the Shadow Systems MR920 was built to prove that not all guns are created equal. Crafted by Shadow Systems, this pistol takes a familiar platform and refines it into something far more performance-driven. It's essentially what happens when you take a proven design and eliminate its weaknesses. The ergonomics are aggressively tuned. The grip angle, texture, and undercut all work together to lock your hand in place like it's engineered for combat, not casual shooting. The trigger is smoother and more responsive than what most shooters are used to in this class. And the slide comes optics ready, with precision cuts that don't feel like an afterthought. They feel integrated. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think upgrading performance is optional. But under pressure, better control, faster sight acquisition, and cleaner trigger breaks aren't luxuries. They're advantages. The MR920 reduces recoil, improves consistency, and rewards proper technique in a way that standard pistols often don't. Yes, the price sits higher than average, but this isn't just a purchase. It's an investment in capability. Because when everything is on the line, the difference between average and refined becomes very real. And the MR920 exists for the carriers who refuse to settle for average. Number 4. Glock 43X MOS. Here's a hard truth. most concealed carriers don't want to hear. You can't improve what your gun won't. Support. A lot of people carry outdated setups, limiting their own growth without even realizing it. That's exactly where the Glock 43X MOS steps in and corrects the mindset. Built by Glock, this isn't just a slimmer version of a classic, it's a modernized carry platform designed for how people actually train today. The MOS system means optics-ready capability right out of the box, and that alone changes everything. Because under stress, aligning traditional sights becomes slower and less intuitive, while a red dot keeps your focus where it belongs on the threat. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think smaller guns mean less performance. The 43X MOS challenges that idea. Its slim profile makes concealment effortless, yet the longer grip gives you more control than typical micro compacts. That balance is critical. Recoil feels manageable, the frame stays stable, and follow-up shots remain consistent if you've put in the training. The trigger isn't flashy, but it's predictable, and predictability wins fights, not gimmicks. Price sits in that mid-range sweet spot, making it accessible without sacrificing quality. And that's the bigger lesson here. Concealed carry isn't just about what you have today, it's about what you can grow into. The Glock 43X MOS isn't just a gun you carry, it's a platform you build on. Number 3. Springfield Hellcat Pro. Here's where most concealed carriers completely misjudge the balance. They think capacity automatically means compromise. Bigger magazine, bigger gun, harder to conceal. That outdated thinking is exactly what the Springfield Hellcat Pro was built to destroy. Developed by Springfield Armory, this pistol doesn't just follow the micro-compact trend, it redefines it. You get a slim, easily concealable frame, but with a capacity that rivals much larger pistols. And that changes how you carry, how you think, and how you prepare. Because in real-world situations, running out of rounds isn't a theory, it's a possibility most people ignore. The Hellcat Pro gives you more without forcing bulk. Now here's where it gets interesting. The ergonomics are tuned for control, not just concealment. The grip texture is aggressive enough to stay planted during rapid fire, and the slightly extended frame gives your hand more real estate to work with. Recoil stays surprisingly manageable, allowing faster follow-up shots than most expect from a gun this size. It's optics-ready, pushing you toward modern defensive shooting instead of outdated habits, and that's something many carriers still resist. The trigger is consistent, not match grade, but dependable under pressure, and that's what matters. Price lands in the mid-tier range, but the value feels higher because of what it delivers, a rare combination of capacity, concealability, and shootability. This is where 9 out of 10 carriers get it wrong. They assume they have to sacrifice one to gain the other. The Hellcat Pro proves you don't. Number 2. Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus. Most concealed carriers never realize their biggest weakness isn't accuracy or even skill, it's inconsistency. They switch setups, change gear too often, and never fully master what they carry. That's where the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus quietly exposes the truth. Built by Smith & Wesson, this pistol doesn't try to reinvent concealed carry. It perfects the fundamentals people should have respected from the start. It's slim, refined, and purpose-built for daily defense. But what makes it dangerous in the best way is its balance between capacity and control. You get a higher round count than older Shield models, but without sacrificing the slim profile that makes deep concealment possible. And that matters in real life, because a gun you can't comfortably carry every day is a gun you won't carry at all. The trigger is one of its strongest upgrades, breaking cleaner and resetting faster, which directly improves follow-up shot speed under pressure. The grip texture is aggressive enough to stay locked in during stress, yet comfortable enough for long-term carry. Now, here's where most carriers get it wrong. They chase upgrade culture instead of mastery. They keep changing platforms instead of learning one deeply. The Shield Plus rewards discipline. It feels predictable, repeatable, almost mechanical in the best way. And when adrenaline hits, that predictability becomes control. Price sits in the practical mid-range, but the real value isn't in features, it's in trust, built over repetition. Because this isn't a gun you admire on paper, it's a gun you rely on every single day without thinking twice. Number 1. SIG Sauer P365 XMacro. Most concealed carriers think the trade-off is unavoidable. You either get a small gun that carries easily or a big gun that shoots well. That belief has created more bad setups than any other mistake in concealed carry. And the SIG Sauer P365 XMacro exists specifically to break that illusion. Built by SIG Sauer, this platform takes the original micro-compact concept and stretches it into something far more capable without sacrificing daily carry comfort. At first glance, it still looks slim enough for concealment, but once you pick it up, you immediately feel the difference. More grip, more control, more confidence. That extended frame isn't just about comfort. It's about recoil management under speed. Because when shots start stacking, control is what keeps you in the fight. The trigger is clean and consistent, with a short reset that encourages fast, controlled follow-ups without losing accuracy. And that's where this pistol separates itself from typical carry guns. It doesn't just help you shoot, it helps you shoot better under pressure. The compensated slide design on many variants reduces muzzle rise, which means faster target reacquisition, especially in high adrenaline moments where stability matters most. Now here's where most carriers get it wrong. They underestimate how much performance they're willing to sacrifice for concealment. The XMacro proves you don't have to. It's still concealable with the right holster, but it behaves like a full-size pistol when it matters. Price sits in the upper mid-range, but what you're really paying for is efficiency, more control, more capacity, more capability in a package you can still carry every day. This isn't a compromise anymore. It's a redefinition of what concealed carry can actually be. Outrow. Most concealed carriers fail not because they lack options, but because they never truly understand what they are carrying. In a real moment of pressure, comfort means nothing. Only preparation and trust in your firearm matter. The difference between survival and failure often comes down to mindset, not equipment. Choose wisely, train consistently, and never rely on hype. Because when everything goes wrong, your decisions are all you have left.